Ahoy, friends. It's me, Dave Landau. After a long night on stage, I like to kick back with a captain's hat and a fine cigar and watch the Dennis and Andy show. These guys are huge nerds, but they're the kind that you actually want to hang out with. Enjoy them. I do.
Well, hello, everybody. It is Wednesday, and that means it is the Dennis and Andy show. And as you can tell, we are at our separate domiciles. You like that use of the word there, buddy?
Wow, yeah. You didn't even say dorms or nothing like that. You went with the full,
I went with,
was it word of the day calendar sitting right next to your computer?
yes, it was. But the word of the day was actually kitten. So I worked it in still just by saying it. So yes, so we are separate. I told Dennis if I were to start nodding off to scream or yell because I got up at 2:20 because my daughter starts work at 3 a.m. on Wednesdays and she doesn't drive. And I've got a little bit of a deadline crunch going on with the football stuff that I do. And I've been up since 2:20 because as soon as I got back home at 3 o'clock, I came up here and started working. So I've gotten a lot done, but I'm also very tired.
Yeah, you are. And I can tell because usually Andy's really quick when I talk to him with comebacks and everything. And he's a little slow, kind of like molasses on a cold winter's day in Wisconsin.
You know, the funny thing is, he's not kidding. When we were first talking before the show, he was like, dude, you are so slow. You make Biden look fast. And I'm like, I know.
Yeah, and then he tripped and fell off his bike his chair that he was sitting on up there. And I was like, yep, there it is.
And then I found out I had cancer.
Wow.
So,
too soon.
No, it's not too soon. He's still with us. Hey, look, you know what? Look, we got the chats showing up like I'm testing it. Nice.
Yeah, like that.
Hey, I look at it like this. I feel I can separate feeling bad for the man and the family because I wouldn't wish any type of cancer on anybody. So it is awful news. But I can also say from a political standpoint, there's no way that they just found out. It is not a coincidence that they dropped the news right when these books came out about his cognitive problems. And Jill Biden, his wife, is a piece of trash. Because
finding out a lot about that.
Yeah, there's no way you would do that to somebody you supposedly love, your spouse, and put him through that type of stuff. So,
yeah.
So there you go.
So, guys,
we do have a guest today.
We do. I was going to say we got a bit of a different show today. There's a lot going on. We're going to talk about a TV show, a movie, but they're different genres. So one of them is Murderbot, which, Andy got me to watch. And that'll lead us right into great sci-fi comic books of all time. And then we're going to talk, we saw Final Destination, Bloodlines, to finish off that series, supposedly. Really good ending to a horror genre. And then we'll talk some great horror comic books from of all time. And, our lists might differ, and, but we brought in a guest.
And the nice thing is the guest has not seen the list of the top 5 sci-fi and horror comics. I have. So when we talk about them, because we're not going to show the list, it'll be interesting to get our guest take on it as well.
That's right, Paul.
Hey, look, when Dennis says it, I always have to look at him and go, dude, did you just say horror comics? It's horror comics.
Yeah, horror comics.
Oh, my God. It's that stupid Midwestern accent. Good Lord.
Yeah, I'll put that right in the bag.
Put it in a bag. All right. Let's bring on our guest. You know what? I'm going to play a little something before we bring him on. Since we didn't announce it, nobody knows who it is. Let's see. What do I got here? We'll go with we'll go with
There was only one man for the job.
and his name is Rich Stonky.
Yeah, it is.
Only one man for the job.
Or half a man.
Look
Well,
how
Rich-
relaxed he looks.
He is. He is very relaxed. And Andy even noticed as soon as we got on, he's got a beard now.
Well, my chair reclines if I can find the right lever. Mm.
It's the one under the chair.
All right, you guys.
Oh. Mine does that too, all the way back. It goes all the way back and all the way back.
I heard you go all the way down.
No. That is not true. Okay, well, you can pop your chair up so we can actually see you.
I'm stuck. I'm like a
Now it's broke. Now he's done. He's done.
Great.
Now he's fallen and he can't get up.
Paul Taylor says, I'd fall asleep if I did that. Trust me, Paul, the chair I'm in does recline flat.
Ugh.
I could probably fall asleep. So Marcus says, wait, the guest is effing Rich?
You know,
Yep.
I just saw.
Marcus should be at work.
Yeah.
Rich is that guy we go to when we're like,
There's
let's have
nobody else
somebody
around.
else on the show that definitely won't pull any spotlight from Dennis and I. And we're like, yeah, it's Rich.
There ain't much of a spotlight to shine in the first place, but hey, whatever. We'll share that little bit of lumens between us.
That's right. So, Rich, you have not seen Murderbot.
No, I don't even have Apple TV. I was just Googling it up while you guys were doing the intro. I've never even heard of it.
Well, so I do have Apple TV. Dennis gets
We're not all rich
Murderbot
like you.
a different way, we'll say. And I saw the trailer for it, and I like Alexander Skarsgård. I think he's a really good actor.
I do like him. Yeah.
And I've never seen him. Well, I'm sure he's done more lighthearted comedy type stuff, but nothing's really popping right to mind. So, and I'm sure I've seen him in it, but I watched this trailer, and at first I was like, oh, it's just going to be his voice, but then he can actually take his helmet off. So he's a murder bot. It's obviously far in the future. He's an android. He can self-repair. You find that out in the first episode because he gets hurt, and it's funny because he gets put in this device that kind of repairs him, and he's naked. He doesn't have any nipples, no belly button, and he's a Ken doll down below. So it's hilarious. Like, Dennis, did you not laugh when you saw that?
No, it was so funny. So I've watched it twice. I watched it because Andy said, dude, you got to watch this. And then I was like, I think my wife's going to love this because she also likes Skarsgård here. And so last night it was late, but I said, hey, instead of watching an episode of that, let's just watch something you haven't seen. And she's like, what? And I said, Murderbot. And she goes, Murderbot? Well, that just sounds stupid. And I said, well, watch the first 2 episodes and then figure it out. Yeah, she's hooked. She loves
Is she
it.
really?
Yes.
Oh my God. So the basic premise is,
Well, it's a
There's
security. Here, I'll just read. A security android struggles with emotions and free will while balancing dangerous missions and desire for isolation, evading detection of his self-hacking as he finds its place in the universe.
and that's what he does. There's a lot of voiceover from Skarsgård, and the voiceover stuff is hilarious because it's very dry because he's an android, but he still gets the humor in, and he basically has this oh my God, I'm blanking on the name of the device, but it's the same thing they call it when they put it on your car so you can't go over a certain speed.
Governor.
Governor. Yeah, he has this governor, and all the bots do that basically don't let him have free will. He can't hurt humans, can't be violent, whatever. Well, he found out a way to hack it and turn it off. So like, there's one scene where he's talking to this one guy, and you can hear his inner monologue, and he's like, make eye contact, make eye contact, make eye contact, because he would, but he hates making eye contact now that the governor's turned off. So he has to force himself to do these things so it doesn't, he doesn't give up the ghost to everybody, that it's like, oh shit, he turned his governor off. Now we have to basically frag him, because they even show like what would happen to him, when they destroy the robots or recycle them.
Randy says, what? No sex bots? No. There are sex bots in the universe. They've already alluded to him. He is not one of them. He is a sec bot. He is a security bot.
Yes.
His job is to perform security and keep everybody safe. But he's not a top of the line model. He's an old refurbished model that the people, they're like, in order for us to bond you and in order to get you to go out to the outer rim, you need to have a sec bot. Well, we can't afford that. What about that old refurbished one? And he's like, oh, that guy looks like a piece of crap. Oh, wait, that's me.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. It's that type of humor. And it's only 2 episodes in. They're only a half hour long. And you know what? I got to give it up to Apple TV. And I know that like AMC Plus and all the streaming services try to basically keep the viewer hooked by basically ending a show that you're watching and then starting a new one like the same week that one you're watching is ending. So it's like, oh, I can't, instead of going, oh, my Friday's free or whatever, it's like, oh, I'm hooked again. And that's kind of like what they did with this. And
this show is
different premise. It's good.
It is. David Delsmalchin he's like an augmented human. So he's got implants and stuff.
Yeah.
He can do some of the stuff that the bot can, but not nearly as good or fast or as powerful. And he doesn't trust the bot. And because the bot winds up doing something really funny and winds up trying to show emotion, not trying to give away the fact that he's hacked his chip and he can do whatever he wants now and get away. So he winds up hacking basically the satellites for the Earth network and starts watching all of these sitcoms and shows, and he winds up watching.
Dude, wait, don't say it. Hours. Dude, when I saw that in the first episode, and hopefully you didn't hear what Dennis said, because I want to spell it. In the first episode, Dennis is right. He's on the rim of this crater, looking down on the two of the people he's supposed to protect as they're working. But like Dennis said, he's hacked into basically like their version of DirecTV, so he can just stream whatever he wants. Well, most shows would probably just throw some garbage in there, right? No, this show actually cast good actors that you would recognize for a Star Trek ripoff type of show that he's watching, and they literally will cut to the scenes, and now you're watching a different show that, Dennis, tell me I'm wrong, you actually would like to watch. I know I would.
So, John, yes, this show that he does, and it's almost like one of those romantic real life drama comedy things that everybody watches, but it sets in the future. John Cho is the captain, and my wife's like, "Wait, Harold and Kumar? Is that really?" I'm like, "Yes." Or I would know him as Sulu from the reboot, but yes, Clark Gregg. That is right. Clark
Gregg
is on there, and no, he does not play an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. in this one. And then Jack McBrayer is in that one as well. He is such a big character, and I'm like, I really want to see that show now too.
I know, and like we're spoiling stuff. We don't care. One of the because Dennis said it is, it is, it has romance and crap in it, but it's hilarious because they accuse the captain, who's John Cho, of sleeping with a horror type character, except while she is a black woman, she's an android or a robot. They accuse him of sleeping with the robot and stuff. It is hilarious, guys. If you have Apple TV or other ways to watch it, you need to watch Murderbot.
Yeah, so I will say right now, the first 2 episodes, the new show has to get, there's got to be a hook, something to bring you in. It is funny, it's creative. The special effects are not bad for a moderately to low one. Even the creatures that they wind up having to fight look halfway decent.
Yeah.
The premise behind it is actually fun. All of the workers that he's protecting, they're actually part of like a futuristic commune, a hippie commune. Guys, this is fun. I'm going to give it a CGC rating so far, just from the first 2 episodes, of a 9.0. I loved it. My wife loved it, and she would have been the harder sell in this one. I think it's a must watch to give it a shot.
I agree. I'm going to go with a 9.0 as well. And I think my favorite comedy that still, only has a couple episodes left on Apple TV is The Studio with Seth Rogen, which is also, it's a comedy. It's a half hour long. This is right up there. This might actually be my favorite over The Studio now. And The Studio is really funny. So Rich, get on it, my friend.
Well, I don't have Apple TV.
What type of phone do you have?
I got an iPhone.
Boom. You have an Apple TV app on that iPhone, don't you?
Yeah, probably.
Well, you could open it up and subscribe for a low $9.99, whatever it is a month, and start watching.
Hey, Rich, you and I will talk.
Get that kind of money.
You and I will talk. I'll help you get some Apple TV.
Yeah, now that you're an ex-cop, Dennis can tell you these things.
Yeah.
That's right.
When you weren't an ex-cop, we would never talk about this stuff in front of you.
Me and the wife were watching something not too long ago, and Skarsgård was in it. It was like a 25-year-old movie, and it was a comedy. And I'm trying to remember what it was, because you said he hadn't really done comedy.
Was Skarsgård in? Oh my God. I'm tired.
Somebody at my wife's work had recommended Zoolander, which we saw.
That's what it is. Skarsgård was in Zoolander, wasn't he?
We decided to try and watch it again. And right there at the beginning, he's part of that big group of male models. My wife was like, "Is that the guy?"
They're the ones that spray the gas all over them, right?
Yeah, he's one of those guys.
Yeah, they were the cause of the freak gasoline accident.
Yeah. So we were like, yeah, that's the dude from True Blood. Yeah.
Love Zoolander. One of my favorite cult movies of all time.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good.
So, Murderbot is a good sci-fi show, and that got us kind of talking. We should kind of talk about maybe some of the best sci-fi comic books, series of all time and what people think. And not necessarily that they're just sci-fi, but, in the vein of Murderbot or something like that. I thought it would be kind of fun to do. We all are probably going to have different ideas, but Watchmen was, for me, kind of right up there. It's got all the sci-fi elements with Dr. Manhattan's power and world-altering tech and it's really redefined comic books with the moral complexity.
Yeah, I mean, I like Watchmen. I guess I never really thought of Watchmen. You've read Watchmen, right, Rick? No?
Yeah, and I think I'm going to be in agreement with you that I don't think of that any more of a sci-fi comic than I would the Fantastic Four, because it has a scientist in it. Right?
Yeah, I don't really consider Watchmen sci-fi. Now, I will disagree. I mean, I see your point about Fantastic Four. I think there's specific stories that you go, oh, that's a sci-fi story. But I guess overall as a whole, I can see your point. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, do you consider Watchmen kind of sci-fi, Dennis?
I do. I can consider it a sci-fi superhero mash.
What makes it sci-fi?
Like I said, it's with all the tech and stuff that they use in it, because it takes place with completely different stuff. The world altering tech and stuff that they use, the way Dr. Manhattan uses power, it's like for me, it's like a sci-fi version. Like if you took superheroes and like a Blade Runner and kind of mashed them together.
Well, it's 2-1, and Rich and I are in agreement. And because we're both bald, we overrule you. It is not. Okay, guys in the chat, is it a sci-fi? Is Watchmen sci-fi, or is Dennis just smoking too much crack? When I leave him at home by himself, he starts putting the booger sugar up his nose, and this is what happens.
Well, Paul says no.
Oh, Paul's a good man.
Paul's already weighed in and said nope.
All right. Well, while people are chiming in, I'll kind of show you my second one, and then I'll be curious to see what you guys have to say after this. Logan's Run.
Yeah, that's sci-fi.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Okay. Love Logan's Run. Then the Marvel adaptation of the awesome movie, even though it is different from the original novels and stuff like that. That was great. Complete in a dystopian future and everything like that. Yeah, it was awesome. I think it was Nolan and Johnson, I think, that originally created it. Jerry Conway, I think, did the comic book. But that was a great, only 7 issues. The movie was great. And I only read, I think it was the first 2. There's another one, which I never did, but I really love Logan's Run as a sci-fi. It's one that always just stuck with me.
Yeah, no. Well, and it's early George Perez, I believe, inked by Klaus Janson. And yeah, I mean, Logan's Run is one. I mean, like you said, 7 issues. I think I have one of them. I should buy them all. It's a shame that Marvel can't ever do a trade paperback of it. You'd think they could score some type of deal with whatever studio owns the rights to it. Oh, I guess, is it MGM still, I guess? I mean, I don't know. You think they could score a deal? You know, get somebody to, you know, get the right people talking and put out a freaking trade paperback of it. At least a trade. I mean, they could do an oversized omnibus.
7 issues, I believe, and if I remember right, 7 issues. It would be a perfect trade paperback size for it. Paul said, I never saw the TV show. I remember watching the TV show. I liked it, but it didn't capture me nearly as much as the movie did.
Logan's Run, the female lead was the senator of the World Council from Captain America Winter Soldier. Get out of here. What? Now I got to Google that.
Oh, the girl that played Jessica. If Joe's right on that, and I don't usually doubt Joe, I think that's cool. I did not realize that. I did not connect those together.
No. That is wow. That's cool. I didn't realize that at all.
Paul says Warner Brother owns the rights to Logan's Run and has been actively working on a remake since the mid-1990s. The studio has been trying to mount a remake with producer Joel. Oh, Silver, really? That would be cool. That would be absolutely cool. And then Paul also says, oh, look at that. Jenny Aguirre. That's correct. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, there she is. Oh, my God. That is her.
Awesome.
Holy crap. Oh, yeah. They got a, she's 72 now. What year did Logan's Run come out?
That was like 76 or somewhere around
So
there.
it was in the 70s. Okay, so wow, she was only like probably 25 then.
Yeah, Jessica was cute. Now, don't get me wrong. She was nowhere near as great as the girl from the laser surgery, which would, of course, be Farrah Fawcett. With the most awesome hair.
Wow, that's great. I'm trying to find a good picture of her from Logan's Run. All right, what's the third one?
All right, popping it up right now. Another one that I picked up as a great, one of my favorites of all time and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Dread. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My God, I love. that is the only single issue I own of Judge Dredd because, it's the first one here. It's Brian Boland. But yeah.
And I do not own his first appearance because I just never went back and collected it. I collect very little UK stuff, and that's where it would be. But the science fiction action Mega City One, with that awesome lawman known as Judge Dredd. Yep, it's a very much a dystopian future again, just like Murderbot. And that's why another thing while I was watching it, certain things that they talked about triggered that. And I was like, God, that's kind of like Judge Dredd. So I definitely thought this was a good one. What about you guys? What do you think?
Oh, I agree. I agree. I would put that higher. Wait, are we counting down?
Nah, I'm not. They're not in any particular
they're not.
order.
Okay.
These are just 5, what I consider some of the best, maybe sci-fi that's in comics.
No, that is a good one. It reminds me of my hefty Judge Dredd Artist Edition book.
Of course you do.
Yeah, baby.
Joe goes, tell me you can't hear Stallone's voice when you hear the line, I am the law.
I am the law.
Breaking the law. Breaking the law.
Breaking the law. Breaking the law. Breaking the law.
Hey, Rich, while we're doing this, Randy's asking if there's anything you want to promote.
Well, sure. There's always something to promote.
Well, good. Say it so, Randy will go find it and we can pop links.
All right. For anybody watching right now over on the Kickstarters, there's another book from New Pain Studios or New Pain Productions, Electricia. It's a follow-up to the Electricia or the Switch graphic novel from 3 or 4 years ago. Tom Nguyen's doing the art. He's drawing and inking it, doing all traditional work. And Keith Champagne's the writer. He's doing the lettering and I'm doing the coloring. That campaign has about 10 more days left, I think. It's funded, and we've hit the first stretch goal. I'm not sure what the second stretch goal is, but we're getting close to it. So that's coming out. Like I said, I'm doing the colors on that. So that's the only thing out there right now to promote. But coming down the pipe later this summer, New Pain's got a lot of stuff coming out. I'm almost done with the second issue of Punch with Keith. And then let's see, the third issue of the series, The Jump, will be out this summer too. That's probably going to hit Kickstarter in July. So I'm currently working on 3 different books with Keith. So
nice.
But right now the only active one is that Electricia one shot. That's a follow up to the graphic novel from 3 or 4 years ago. And if I'm not
when you get to be the age of all 3 of us, we don't have New Pain. We have Old Pain.
Old Pain, yeah.
But we also have this beautiful image of Jenny, a gutter in wardrobe for Logan's Run. Not much wardrobe there. I like it. Now I need to go watch the movie again.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, come on over. We'll watch it. I own this. It's great.
I know. We should dude. We should do retro reviews.
That would be fun.
Where maybe once a month we just watch an older movie, and so we still do our weekly, but then once a month we watch an older one and do a retro review.
You should.
We break out the popcorn and you guys come over, we'll watch it and then do a review.
See the ideas that Rich has? He beamed it over to me. Our baldness connected.
Notice I said you guys, because I'm including Rich in that.
Oh, I'm busy.
Okay, good. Just Rich and I then.
Yep. Be careful, Rich. He likes when people come over. He likes them to sit on his lap.
Mm-hmm.
One of my buddies came over on Saturday after I got done doing all the hardwood floors and stuff, and we decided to watch some old $6 Million Man, and we actually watched the episode of the $7 Million Man, and I'm like, oh my God, it was so great. And then I turned around and got him hooked on Man in the High Castle. So, we didn't watch $6 Million Man all night, but it was still really cool.
So wait a second. Who played the $7 Million Man? Anybody recognizable? No.
Nah, you would recognize him from that era in the 70s,
Right.
but he wasn't a big name. But he did play a race car driver, a Formula One racer that was hugely popular, and then his accident happened. Then he disappeared, only to find out he got the newer version of the Bionics than what Steve had, and beat Steve in an arm wrestling contest.
What were the upgrades? What was the difference?
Well, he actually had 2 bionic arms and 2 bionic legs, and it was newer version of it, but he couldn't cope with all the mental stress of it, and he took great pleasure in beating the crap out of people and flipping over their cars and throwing them through fences, and then it was a great fight between him and Steve at the end. So it was a really good one. It's been so long since I've watched $6 Million Man, but it was really good.
I got to be honest, Dennis. That kind of sounds like you when you get drunk. You like to get into fights, flip cars over.
Yeah,
have a good old time.
Yep, threw you through some fences. Yeah, it's all true. It's all good.
I know. Luckily, it was your fence, though, so you had to flip the bill, not me. All right.
So this one, the next one, I was kind of on the fence of, and the reason why I consider it sci-fi, but it's a sci-fi. It's a UK title. It ties in a lot with the Logan's Run Rebellion and the Murderbot's anti-corporate vibe, and it just really fit in. I love V for Vendetta.
So you actually read that? I've never read it. I know what it's about, but
yeah, I like it way better than I did. The movie was okay, but I didn't think it was anything to write home about. I thought it was fine, but I really did enjoy this. Alan Moore and David Lloyd.
Now,
yeah,
this
David
was 12 issues, right? I don't remember.
The reprints from DC were 10 issues.
Oh. What was it originally?
Well, it originally appeared in Warrior Magazine.
Oh, it did.
Installments. It was like 8-page installments.
Yep, 10 issues.
Oh, I didn't know that.
DC reprinted it and colorized it too because it was in black and white in Warrior.
Right.
But I disagree with Dennis on this one too because Andy, you said you hadn't read it. This is definitely a future, and you can say it's dystopian, but there's nothing high tech, nothing.
Well, it doesn't have to be high tech. So do you consider
the science part of the science
do you
fiction?
consider, because most of the dystopian ones typically are, do you consider 1984 sci-fi?
Not really.
Okay. Well, I think that's where it is. I kind of would.
Wait, you think the novel 1984 that?
Yeah.
You consider
Yeah, it's also like
I think 1984
THX was it?
THX I'd call that sci-fi. Yeah.
But see that fits in it's exactly reminds me so much.
That's got robots in it, I think. I mean, THX has robots, right?
No, they didn't have.
The security guard guys robots.
They were the people were basically enslaved in there, and it was all higher tech stuff that they did. But that's what 1984. It was all. I mean, even in our standards, it was considered higher tech stuff. So, I mean, if you don't consider 1984 and stuff, then I guess you would make that argument. I kind of do. I consider this science fiction, but maybe you don't.
I mean, 1984, I can see a little more than this. V for Vendetta just never really.
You gotta read it. Go read it and then tell me what you think.
Hey, I flipped through it.
It's a dense read.
Okay, you flipped.
If anybody hasn't read it, it's dense.
It is.
You got to pay attention.
Wow, is it as dense? Is it denser than Watchmen?
Yeah.
That's probably why I've never read it.
It's a lot of
there's words in this one. Andy.
Well, no. Oh, yeah. Watchmen didn't have words. I'll be honest. When it first came out, I looked through it, and at the time, in the 80s, it's just the artwork did nothing for me. I wouldn't have read Watchmen if it wasn't for the fact that I like Dave Gibbons' artwork. So I did find. So they posted in the chat the $7 Million Man was Monte Markham. And I did find pictures of him. And oh, yeah, I recognize that guy. Oh, yeah. Yep. Big time.
All right. Well, this one I know you will all agree with.
Star Trek? Oh, Star Wars.
Well, Star Trek, not in comic books because we're specifically talking comic books. I can remember getting this at a birthday party, and the only thing they had at the birthday party for us, because 1977 was a comic book. There were no cakes that had Star Wars on it. There were no Star Wars plates, no nothing. But that was the one thing we got from my buddy, whose dad was a traveling salesman out in California, brought back these for all of us kids and stuff like that. I remember going to see Star Wars. It was nothing like, it was just a sci-fi movie. I had wanted to see Battlestar Galactica after that in the theater, and I did when they released it as a movie. But Star Wars, I mean, even the comic books, besides the first few being, straight from the movie, I used to have the entire run of this. It was fun. It was interesting. The Boba Fett stuff. Then they brought out, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. They kept it going. This was great. I went and bought every single issue of that as a kid. I loved it. It kind of changed everything forever. And then I collected, you already know, I collected the old Star Trek, and Star Trek's up there straight for me. But for everybody, I think Star Wars had the greatest impact in sci-fi.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I agree. I definitely think it's sci-fi. So
yeah, I mean, that was a great ongoing series. I mean, they took that mythology and just ran with it.
Yeah. Yeah. They had some stinker issues, but everything does. So,
yeah.
All right. So that was my top 5. What comes to your mind off the top of your head that you would add?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man.
I mean, I had a whole bunch. Babylon 5. I have some Expand stuff, things like that, because I own all of that. All the Star Trek stuff that I have. I mean, that was almost on my list.
See, I thought you said Star Trek. Wait a second. I thought one time we had this conversation where I mentioned Star Trek being sci-fi, and you're like, no.
What?
Star Wars is sci-fi.
No, you're imagining
blah, blah, blah.
You had some delusional dream in the middle of the night. I would have never. You're gaslighting me. We need a gaslight button that just comes up like a red alert, a klaxon right now.
Oh, shut up.
If you stick with original series, I mean, not stuff that's derivative like Star Wars, Star Trek, Babylon, or Terminator, or Aliens, and all that stuff that's already a movie property. If you go to like Alien Legion from Marvel, that was
yeah.
Yo, Alien Legion, yeah.
Rated just to be a comic book, yeah.
By the way, Dennis, this is why I stated what you just said to me.
Oh!
Yeah, take that. Effer. Yeah, Alien Legion was sci-fi. I'm just trying to think. I always read more superhero type stuff. So, growing up, and even now. What about Transformers?
Oh, yeah, Transformers is definitely sci-fi. I wouldn't necessarily put it up as some of the best of all time. Although the new stuff, I got caught up reading the Skybound stuff right now, and I just read issue 20. Fantastic. Love it. Aerial bots are back. Yes.
Wow. I haven't read issue 20 yet. Thanks for that spoiler, Dick.
Oh, you didn't look at the cover. Okay.
Hey, there's variant covers, Dennis.
Okay.
Not every cover gives it away.
I got the new Optimus Prime cover.
Oh, yeah. With that big stick shift he has.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow.
You like to wrap your hand around it and shift his gears?
It's a two-hander.
It's a big two-hander. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think Dennis gave up.
He did. Hey, do you have, because the one thing we didn't do, and I can see you're flipping through things down there. I can look for it if you want. Well, he just turned his camera off and his mic.
He's out.
I was going to say, oh, I know why. Never mind. He's got a worker dude over at his house. I meant to look up. I want to see what the critics are giving Murderbot on like IMDb and stuff. Okay, so critics are giving Murderbot a 7.4 out of 10, and Rotten Tomatoes tomato meter 98%.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah, it is. It is good. Now, when he does get back up here and we talk about Final Destination. Oh, there you are. You have to go talk to your door guy.
Well, that's what I was. The doorbell was ringing nonstop, so we're getting a whole new door, the transom, the side lights, the whole thing's been ripped out. So everything's just came together at the same time, and I'm like, of course, this is all going to happen right when we're doing it, which is why I'm here today. So anyway, I've got that taken care of. So all good.
So what I was saying is, Murderbot IMDb gives it a 7.4 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes 98%. So
Nice.
by the way, Rich, that door Dennis is getting, he is so hardcore into D&D. I mean, when he showed me the rough pictures, I was like, that's pretty ballsy. He's actually getting a drawbridge. So when you go to his house, instead of opening this way, it's going to literally come down like this.
Wow.
And instead of digging for a moat, because that gets really expensive, he's just going to have a kiddie pool that the drawbridge goes over.
That's fair. Fair enough.
The funny thing is I do have a welcome mat. It is a D&D welcome mat, and it basically says, watch out, this is a trap door. And then when you walk in or go out, the one outside said, roll for initiative, roll 20, D20.
I know, Rich, you're thinking the same thing I am. How the hell did this guy ever get laid or even get married?
I don't know what you're saying. Paul, $10 super chat. Doing retro movies would be awesome. So much trash coming out now. Would be great to see some old classics. Here's a bad one to start with. David Hasselhoff's first movie, Star Wars.
Oh, see, I've never even heard of it, but it looks like Dennis
I haven't seen that one either.
Yeah, I do not own it, but I can hunt for that one. So that is a great one, Paul.
It's probably streaming somewhere.
And thank you for the $10 super chat.
I mean, boy, if it's so bad, it would be like maybe it's like Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah. Oh my God. Never even heard of it. I thought he was going to say David Hasselhoff as Nick Fury. So, all right, Dennis, sell us on this Final Destination. I haven't seen it. Rich, of course, hasn't seen. Rich, have you seen any of these Final Destination movies?
I saw the first one, and I remember the first one was pretty good because it's kind of a unique concept. What the whole movie's about. Not to spoil it for anybody who hadn't seen one of the 18 movies. But you cheat death, and basically you can't cheat death. It'll find a way to get you one way or another.
There's not 18, by the way.
All right, 17.
No.
So, but I'm trying to think. I think I saw maybe the second and third one also, but I know I haven't kept up all the way through with the series. And by the way, you can see. I think you can see David Hasselhoff's Star Crash on Tubi.
Oh, that's even better.
And Pluto.
HBO. So, Dennis, what number Final Destination is this? Do you know?
This, I think, is 6. So
real quick before you describe it, HBO Max. I thought it was 6, but I wanted you to confirm. I was going through HBO Max over the weekend, and HBO Max under like what to watch, literally in a row. Final Destination, and then it goes Final Destination 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm like, this has got to be 6 then.
They're all good except in their own way, except for 4. 4, the studio did not want to release, and that's why they changed the name. It's actually not Final Destination 4. It's like The Final Destination, and they changed it because the studio realized we don't really want it to be associated with the actual series. And the funny part is, if you guys watch The Boys, Homelander's wife, the mother, she is the main character in that one. So she's cute, she's nice, but wow, that was not a great movie. But most of them were really decent. There's a tie-in to it. Tony Todd, there was a lot of theories we had after watching it. So I only remembered the first one kind of. So my daughter and niece both wanted to see 6. The last one here, the final movie. So they came over a few weeks ago and we did a complete marathon where we watched all of them right in a row over the weekend in preparation for this one. So this one technically is I mean, it's in the series. Tony
Or
Todd's
the original
character. Tony Todd's the only character that from the original one that makes it in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, most of them are dead, but
oh, that's true.
they do a really good job timeline wise, putting everything together. So with this one, it's plagued by a recurring violent nightmare. A college student returns home to find the one person who can break the cycle and save her family from the horrific fate that inevitably awaits them. This takes place, it's unnerving because it's like the Space Needle. They call it Skyview. And everything takes place in like the top of the Sky Needle, takes place back in the 1960s. And like the glass is a see-through restaurant that's up there, and it's a dance floor and everything, but you see all the way down because it's glass. If you've seen the previews, you already know things go really badly in the Space Needle. But that starts off a chain of events that goes through an entire generation and comes up to the current day. And then when they wrap everything up, they do wrap it up with a really nice bow on the series, assuming this is the final one. The most important thing was Tony Todd was great in all of these. And
now I haven't seen, I've seen all 5. Everybody knows how my memory is when it comes to movies. I have not seen them. Put it this way, I saw 5 when it came out. So however many years ago it was. What is Tony Todd's character? I don't even remember.
He's a coroner. He's the coroner in every movie. We were all thinking he was like an aspect of death because he knows so much, and no matter who it is, they wind up seeing him, and he winds up mentioning, something, and we're like, oh, death will come after you. Death does not like it when you right. Escape his clutches, things like that. Paul's right. He's the Candyman as well.
Oh yeah.
And so when they were filming this, Tony Todd was sick. He had cancer. They knew he was going to die. So they gave him a final out in this one, and he looked very gaunt. You could tell he was really sick. And they gave him a soliloquy that allowed him to express, look, I am retiring, as he was still a coroner in this one. I am retiring. I know I don't have much longer to live. I need to live every minute like it's my last, blah, 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 blah. They gave him this awesome speech in there, and he walks off. Everybody got goosebumps and stuff in there. Some of the girls were crying up there, and those that were obviously fans of it. So it was a great send-off for him. So I really appreciated them doing that for him, giving him the time and letting him speak, as it, which of course took away some of our fan theories, but that's fine. It was great to see him go off.
God, I kind of want to see it just for that monologue now.
Yeah.
All right. Hit me with one gruesome death. I want to know one gruesome death.
Oh, there were so many good ones. I don't want to use any of the ones from the trailer, the lawnmower one or the stepping on the glass and stuff, because that was all in there. The one that really it just sent shivers was it's a replay of the grandmother in the 60s from the Skyview, and she's holding on to the young boy who you find out who he is later, and she's hanging out from the outside. The Space Needle's tipping over basically, and she's not holding on. She's wearing the wedding ring she just got that's stuck between 2 nails, and she's holding the boy, and the only thing holding them up is the wedding ring on her finger, and it starts going.
Yeah, because that wouldn't rip her finger off at all.
Oh, it was great how they did it, and the theater was fairly full, and everybody's like, oh, and then when it finally happens, they're like, oh.
Oh, they show like the skin ripping off the finger and stuff.
Oh, dude, the graphics in this were great. There was not, obviously the beginning stuff was CG because Space Needle and stuff, but so much of it was practical effects. It was great. It was some of the best ones yet.
All right. Well, I'll definitely have to Check it
Another
out.
reason not to get married.
I know a dude who lost his finger like that. The wedding band got caught and he ripped his finger off.
No, I know my father-in-law didn't lose his finger, but he almost did. And after that, he never wore his wedding ring again. So,
Wow.
I mean, that's why Dennis stopped wearing a cock ring, because he got it caught on something and almost.
And I broke the machine, the heavy duty fan, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
So, guys, I'm giving this one a CGC of a 9.0. I absolutely love it.
Are you shitting me? You're giving Final Destination
2 9s in one show. That's never happened.
Oh my God. Now you might have to go see it with me in the theater. You might have to see it twice.
Oh, I loved it. I would not mind seeing this again.
I'm going to go sit and watch the rest of them on Max.
Yes.
Yeah.
It does help. I mean, it's not required, but it really does help because it gives you the whole history of everything and how it works and interweaves. And then when you get into it, it really makes it a complete story. Rotten Tomatoes. The critics are giving it a 92, and the audience is an 88.
Holy shit. I honestly, and I'm not bagging on the movie. I just figured it probably come in around the 7s somewhere, which is still a great score. But that is, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 good movies. I mean, I should say reviews because Murderbot's not a movie, but yeah, it's a good one.
Damn. All right. Let's see this list of the 5 top horror comics. Not horror.
Yeah. The horror comics.
That's it. Horror comics are a different one. That's why Rich is here. He's going to share his collection of horror comics.
This is one. It's not one that I don't own a lot of any of the originals. I know some guys that do collect this. But you know, going back for the older ones, Tales of the Crypt. I mean, for horror comics, that is great. I've got some of the hardcover stuff that reprints them. These are great.
That is
any of this old stuff like this to me was just fantastic. Yeah.
No, that's 100% right there. All right, what's next? That's an easy one.
All right. Well, I'll just move to another one I used to read it. I don't collect it anymore, but Hellboy.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Mike, the Manolaverse. I love it. I think it's good. I used to collect that. I don't anymore, but even their movies and stuff, other than the last one, that wasn't so hot, but I've even enjoyed most of the movies and stuff like that. But, I did that.
Well, to be honest, the last movie we never saw.
Yeah, that's true. It was the one before it.
That was last year.
With the giant one.
David Harbour's Hellboy.
Well, they just put out one that's on Hulu.
Well, didn't it go theatrical for a little bit or no?
It may have. I'm sure it was a limited release.
I mean, it got bad reviews. So.
Wow, Scared by 1979 Alien. That was. So many people call it just sci-fi, but it really was a horror movie.
That's a horror movie.
Oh, totally.
In sci-fi, I love it.
Oh, yeah.
So
I got scared because I saw the version where you could see Sigourney Weaver's bush, and that scared the crap out of me. I am so glad. I saw that as a little kid, and I was like, that's what it looks like down there in a woman? Who would
no! Dad, show me how to use the weed whacker.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. All right. My third one is Creepy.
Oh, I was hoping that. I own that. Do you own that?
I do not own. I don't know if I have any of my Creepies anymore. I got rid of a lot of my horror books a while back. My Creepies, and another one that's on the list I know I got rid of, and I'm very sad giving something that's going up. Speaking of which, I'll just show it. But Creepy was really good. It kind of makes me want to go back and collect it again, but guys, I just don't have enough room to do it. But Frank Frazetta did some of the art and stuff in there.
Man, that first issue was just the gangbusters.
Yeah. I really wish I would have kept. I really wish I would have kept. I will double check, but I don't think I have creepy number 1. The only one I have right of any of that older stuff is heavy metal number 1. I do have that one that I got from Lynn. But yeah, that's a good one. And Vampirella, still love Vampirella. I really wish I would have kept this series too, especially that one, because that is such a great cover. It's almost like it's foreshadowing something coming up soon.
Whatever do you mean?
What? There you go, guys. You can see it side by side.
That's right. Go sign up for Lilith now.
That's right. Vampirella, another, that's a great, I still, even the newer stuff from Dynamite, I do have a bunch of the newer Vampirella, because Lucio Perillo does all these covers, and I just love his art so much. I actually collected for the covers because he is so good on it. Some of the stories are really good. Some of them, kind of jump the shark. But with that being said, those covers are fantastic.
They are. I mean, I was amazed and really not that surprised when you told me in confidence that the one man you would sleep with and fondle is that painter that does those covers.
Huh. Wow. So even if I had told you that, I know now never to tell you anything in confidence, because you blurted out to.
Yeah, you talk in your sleep all the time.
People.
And you're not denying it.
I know he's not denying it, Rich.
No, yeah, whatever. You guys are the worst.
That painter would come over and go, "I'll give you this painting."
I did get to see my buddy who came over for the $6 Million Man is actually friends with him. He actually got wedding invites and all this stuff from him. And I got to see the picture of his wife, and she is drop dead gorgeous.
Nice.
I can already see this. Am I a Pedro Pascal fan? There are certain things that I really like him in, and there are other things. He is so overhyped and so over everything right now. I have been Pedro'd out completely for the most part. So, yeah, there are certain things I like. The Nicolas Cage movie, The Unbearable Weight, that was absolutely fantastic. I love
that. That would be called the Nicolas Cage.
It is. It is.
Rich?
It was the relationship between them.
Rich, do you know what is filming now? And Nicolas Cage is in the starring role, and it's based on
John Madden story.
Yeah, have you seen the photo?
I've seen a photo, yeah, and it looks pretty cool.
It does. He's got to get the voice, though.
Bam!
He's got to get the voice.
I know the voice is. Even my wife was like, because she loved John Madden too. But if he nails the voice, I can't wait for it. Dennis, did you see the video with the glow stick? I have not, so I don't know what that means. So you'll have to pop a link or something to it. So guys, the final one for me, for horror comics of all time, I mean, the Swamp Thing. I like the Man Thing and say, but we got to look at the original. The original Swamp Thing. I mean, Len Wein, Bernie Wrightson, and Alan Moore. That is just great stuff.
Nope, I agree. That is what I consider my Swamp Thing artist, Bernie Wrightson, the way he draws them. Kelly Jones, of course, is second. The other artists that have drawn him, I mean, he looks cool, but man, when they put all like Stephen Bissett and stuff, when he put all like the vegetation and just everything on him, so he literally looked like just a piece of ground that got up and started walking. It was just too much. I really like the Bernie Wrightson look. I know that, Bernie Wrightson look was basically very smooth with some roots and then, muscled up. I get where Steve Bissett and those guys were going with it because he's the Swamp Thing, but I got to always go back to Bernie.
See, leg kick, Tomb of Dracula. I mean, that's up there. I love Tomb of Dracula as well. So, I can't complain. These are just the ones that kind of came to my mind. Rich, what are your favorite horror comic books of all time?
I mean, you threw Swamp Thing up there, and for me, the Swamp Thing with the Alan Moore years, as far as the story content, that's good stuff. I mean, reading the comics not really going to scare me, but more really took a deep dive in some of the horror tropes with the American Gothic storyline. That was a fantastic storyline where he tackled, a werewolf, ghost stories, and swamp people. I mean, he covered everything, and it was just one knockout issue, one after the other for that storyline in particular.
I mean, the Plunge, which is, within the past decade, Stuart Immonen, I can't remember who wrote it, but, DC put it out because DC was doing this line of like horror books with bigger name creators and stuff. And I bought it because I like Stuart's artwork, but I got to be honest, the story was really good. It was a really good tight, I think it was 5 issues, maybe 6. But same thing, Rich. I mean, maybe I didn't read any of that type of stuff as a kid. Well, I mean, Swamp Thing, but it just hard to get scared over a horror comic.
Yeah,
compared to a novel. Now, a novel is better for horror stuff because it's totally what your mind makes up and envisions. So there's been some horror novels I've read where I'm like, damn, that is some dark, creepy shit.
Yeah.
If you go back to the 80s, I mean, there's like Pacific Comics was putting out those Twisted Tales and the Alien Worlds series and the Bruce Jones reprints. And Bruce Jones wrote a lot of, that EC type story. Those were all good.
Yeah.
I'm going to plug a buddy's book. A guy named Jason Pell writes a book called Bearskin. And he runs them through Kickstarter, and it's hard to describe. Basically, it's a guy who's a little off his rocker, and when he puts on a big furry bear costume with googly eyes on top and wields an axe. And when he puts on the costume, he can detect the paranormal and the supernatural, and he basically travels around like killing demons and stuff. And he puts on his bear costume and gets his axe out and goes to kicking ass.
That's fun.
So they just wrapped up a campaign for, I think, the 3rd book of that on Kickstarter. So I'm not sure if it's on another platform where you can buy it on demand, but there should be another book of that coming out soon. But look for Bearskin from Jason Pell. It comes out through Bad Bug Media.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a good, fun, entertaining read. And Jason's written some good stuff going back a few years in indie comics.
I'm going to do a book called Foreskin, and it's about a midget. I'll just leave it there. I don't want to give away too much.
Well, that we don't want our channel struck. So yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, there it is. That's what the character looks like.
If you guys do like EC books, Oni Press has the rights to it, and they're actually creating new anthology stories. So each book's got each comic has 3 different stories in it. And I've been picking up the different ones. They did some of the sci-fi, some of the horror books and stuff. It's all good. I mean, it's solid. I'm enjoying it, so I'm still getting it. But it's just not the original one. It's just not quite there. But I don't think anything's going to compete with that stuff because we're too desensitized.
Yeah, I mean that's just it. When that stuff came out in the 50s and even 60s and stuff. What was a scary movie was The Birds,
Yeah.
Not what we see now, and it's like, it's like with Final Destination. Obviously I haven't seen it yet. Oh, is that the artist edition?
Oh.
It's the cheap version. But
yeah, well, who cares? They're still nice.
But yeah, I dove into this thing. I got this a few months ago and just sat down one day and just, looked at some of these artwork close up where you can, it's all black and white and see the details in it.
It's all covers in that one?
Yeah, this is all the EC covers from different artists. But man, some of this stuff is just incredible to see it unadulterated just in the line work.
Yeah.
That is good stuff.
Yeah.
But dude, that's some creepy ass shit right there.
Yep. And then that Wortham bastard screwed everything up.
Yeah, some bitch.
Yeah, Aaron worships the ground that Bernie. I mean, who doesn't like Bernie, really?
I know. He's just one of those guys that is in total I really do. Yeah, he is. I haven't met anybody that doesn't like Bernie Wrightson's work.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
I want to throw a plug to another person I semi know. Oh, Dennis is out again. But a more recent one is 30 Days of Night. It was a great comic book.
Yeah.
Stephen Niles hit on a great idea that I'm surprised nobody had thought of before that, as far as I know they hadn't, of just, we put vampires someplace where the sun doesn't come up.
Right.
And they could just have free reign. And it's great. It's a great concept. Pretty good movie, too.
Oh, I thought it was really good. I got to be honest. I couldn't read the first book. I tried. I think I actually did, but I'm just not a fan. I mean, I don't.
Of the
Ben
artwork.
Temple-Smith was the artist.
Yeah.
I don't not like that style of work because I like John J. Muth and obviously when Bill Sienkiewicz gets really funky with his stuff. But I got to be honest, when I read that trade paperback, I could barely follow it. The story was good, but if you go from the old school, I guess it's not even old school in my opinion. If you go from the standard of you should be able to look at a graphic novel or a comic book and basically follow the story without reading any of the word balloons and captions, that book fails. It just fails. You can't.
Then stuff evolved because he did some early work with McFarlane on the Spawn books, and he got more and more non-traditional and was really hitting that non-traditional stride when he did 30 Days of Night. And the first storyline is not bad, the first 3-issue arc. And then the later issues and stuff he also did with Steve, the Cal McDonald series, which was a paranormal detective thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've talked to Steve, and even Steve wasn't real happy with how some of it got so loose, as you just said. I told Steve, I said, I couldn't get through whatever series he asked me about. I said, I read the first couple of issues, Steve, and I said, I gave up. I said, I couldn't follow what the hell was going on in the artwork.
Yeah.
But that first 30 Days of Night, it's not that bad. But it got worse and looser as he went. And
What's
Dennis? I
on the
don't
show?
know if Ben works on these days.
I don't know. Oh yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
I didn't know you got that.
Oh yeah.
Wait, you backed it, right?
I did. I backed it.
Yeah. I didn't realize you got that as well.
Yeah. For those that didn't see it, the Bernie Wrightson, the tribute book. So there's great stories and stuff in there, and the art. Now, obviously, Andy, he's the artist, him and Rich, so they have a ton of these kind of books. I only get certain ones just because, one, I don't have room, and two, it's about the style, but this is just, this is just great stuff. And, even on the back, they go through some of it. This was,
Oh yeah.
yeah. This is a great tribute book. So for those of you that didn't know I've seen them now in some of the comic shops. So I don't know if it's gone full retail now, but Bernie Wrightson, the tribute book. So anyway, worth picking up if you're a Wrightson fan.
Yeah, look it up on eBay if it's not available anymore. But it's a really good book. So cool. What else we got? Anything? If not, I need to take a nap. I'm about to fall asleep.
Yeah, I was gonna say this week. Well,
oh yeah, what are we seeing tomorrow?
What is it? What big blockbuster is coming out that we've had our tickets for?
Lilo and Stitch.
Nope. I said blockbuster, not dud.
Oh, you bastard! No, we're seeing Mission Impossible.
Oh yeah, that's it.
What's the full title? Mission Impossible.
Last Reckoning.
Last Reckoning.
They took our title. Almost.
That's right. Yeah, dude, I can't wait. 4:00 tomorrow. We'll be seeing it. So I definitely got to get my Z's in so I don't crash during that movie, which I don't think will happen.
Never
go full retail.
Yeah. Best character ever.
Yeah, no, I am so excited for this movie. But Monday, myself, wife, and daughter will be seeing Lilo and Stitch live action. I got to say, I think it looks pretty cute. So
it might be good.
It might, but like again, this is what I say about all of it. Even if it is cute and not bad, the originals are so darn good. Why would I want to go see it? It's the same thing. I would rather see the original. So
Yeah.
I'm out on all the remakes with Disney. I won't even go to them anymore.
Yeah.
Man, Joe doesn't even listen to us sometimes. Joe, we just said we're seeing Mission Impossible tomorrow night, and we'll drop our review on Friday or tomorrow night, I should say, after. And then Monday, I'm going to go see Lilo and Stitch with Helen and Courtney. And yeah, I'm glad it's got 100% fan reaction. Look, if they stick to the original movie and don't mess with it, I would assume it will do well.
But that's my point. If they stick to the original movie was awesome. But why not just watch the original movie?
Yeah.
Because some people like live action over cartoons. Dummy.
Did Courtney like
that's
Lilo and
right,
Stitch when she was
dummy.
little?
Yeah.
What about Dennis? What about your daughter? I'm not sure how old they are. Did they watch Lilo and Stitch when they were little?
Yep.
Yeah. For my kid, that was one of her first movies she saw in a theater, and so of course we had to get it on DVD, and so she could watch it over and over again as a kid at home. That's one of the better Disney animated movies from the past 20 or 30 years.
My son in particular, his was Lion King, and it was VHS tape, and he replayed that thing till it broke, and then I had to buy another one. Yeah. But no, most of all those original ones are good. I've just not been fond of the live action remakes, and all the originals are better than any of the live actions. So it's not like I would, but I'm just not going to pay money to go see them when I can watch the original and be completely enjoy it. I just love the original, so don't need it.
That's fair. Let's see. Joe says with the remakes, they just need to stick to the original and add a little more. That's the formula a la Beauty and the Beast. I never saw Beauty and the Beast live action. Didn't care. I mean, lots of those I don't care. Like, I wasn't going to go see Lilo and Stitch. And then I saw the trailer for it, and I was like, all right. Because it's very rare now when the three of us as a family go see a movie because Helen's taste is so different from what, like, Courtney and I like. So,
Well, and that was going to be the name of our channel originally, Beauty and the Beast. But we wound up going DNA. So anyway, that's back open again. And we didn't want Disney to sue us.
Yeah, well, maybe point the right way next time because
I did.
Really? You're pointing
Beauty
off camera.
and the Beast. I did it right.
So who's the beast when you're pointing that way?
Yeah,
not for us watching. It's not. No.
Yeah, it's not right at all.
It is.
Are you not looking at your screen?
Literally pointing right at you.
No, see, I'm pointing right at you.
Yeah, no, I just did that. It's good.
Okay, do you see that my finger's literally pointing at you right now?
Yeah.
Your finger is not pointing at me at all.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
I don't know how you can say that. It literally is.
Go watch the replay and then tell me that you're pointing at me and you'll realize you're not.
I am. You are literally to my left.
Do you have your camera mirrored?
Is your camera mirrored?
I don't know.
It's not. No, Rich,
I'm
it's not because
pointing
if this
at you.
camera was mirrored, we wouldn't be able to read his shirt.
You are here. Rich is literally, I'm touching Rich's top of his head right now.
Holy shit. No, you're not.
Yeah. No, totally not.
Watch the replay.
Wow, that's funny. Well, that means there's a setting somewhere.
Well, you can read my shirt too, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, none of us are mirrored because if you click mirrored, you wouldn't be able to read.
Look at that. It was on. It says mirror my camera.
You had that on? I wonder why I could read your shirt. Oh, I guess it just does it for you then. Now point to me. There you go.
Yeah, no, and see, that's the exact opposite side. Yeah, it was a mirrored camera. Look at that. We learned something on the DNA show every week.
That's so weird because, like,
I really want to watch the replay now and go back and see it because
I know because you're sitting there.
I thought you were gaslighting me again.
Nope. I just mirrored my camera. Is my hat readable still?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can still read it? Oh, on my end, I can't read it when I do mirror the camera.
See, this conversation is better than Snow White live action.
Yeah, it is, right? It's dumb, dumber, and dumbest. Sorry, Rich. You got to be dumbest.
I got it.
Yeah.
So
Everybody, somebody's got to hold that mantle. Well, but see,
That's
now
right.
this
It's
is much
you.
more difficult because now I literally have to point the exact wrong
you
way.
have another arm, Dennis.
Because according to this,
I know. Oh, I'm breaking my
I
wrist.
had another hand.
How do I point?
I'm trying to keep it in there because now I'm pointing and look at. I'm literally pointing at Yngwie Malmsteen, and that's really the wrong direction.
You still holding him captive?
Yeah, he's still sitting over here, back from the Odyssey days.
You know, I got Dennis's 9-inch Cordrath over here, and it's the one day he couldn't come over to pick it up.
He taunted me this morning too. He's like, oh, because I couldn't make the comic shop either. So for those of you that are waiting for my quick flips, it's going to be a hot minute until I can get over. Maybe on Friday on the way home, I'll swing in and pick it up. So yeah, they're busy picking up, putting my door in and stuff. So I had to stick around all day.
See, Bernardo says we're going as a family. Me, my wife, my daughter, minus my 2 sons, too, Andy. Dennis, you are wrong. LOL. And when you come down for Heroes Con and stay at Dennis's, roll over in the middle of the night and just smack him in the back of the head.
What do you mean? I've got clothespins, so I'm going to sneak in there, put Joe's nose and then his mouth. I'll never hear this conversation again.
You need to sneak in. All you gotta do is roll over. You guys are sharing a bed.
No, he and his wife are in the spare bedroom.
It's going to be a key party, Rich.
Mm-hmm. Throw him in the bowl.
Wow,
Right.
I do believe we had this conversation before, and you said when there's 4 people, there's no keys for a key party.
Well, no, Rich and his wife were going over. I heard.
Direct quote. Let's see the court draft.
Oh my God!
Yeah, you should show the 9-inch. So Andy got his at the show. Mine was in the mail.
Well, I'll show yours.
Oh, okay, it's handy. That's why. You know, I might, if I find extra time, maybe in August, I may sit down and just paint it myself.
Oh my God! Don't ruin it. Also, Dennis has a copy of this.
Oh yeah,
And this is the Golden Apple one, signed by Rob. I got mine too.
I'm so excited. Yeah, he taunted both of these all day for me. Ooh, the one day you can't come over. Look what I got.
All right, I don't feel like getting the base out, but there's yours.
It's all about the base,
Oh yeah. Oh,
pretty sharp.
look at that. That's 9 inches of core drag. Here, you can look right up there and see.
Yep, something your wife has never said to you.
I know. She rather have 9 inches of Andy than 9 inches of core draft, Dennis.
But she didn't say inches. Pretty sure it was millimeters.
You know what the sad part is? Susie already has little Dennis on her desk. She's going to swap it out for core draft.
We were actually just talking about that when she was working. I was down there because it's staying there. I'm like, look, little Dennis is looking over you, making sure you're doing the shit right. And she goes, well, I like little Dennis, unlike Helen, who does not like little Andy at all.
Uh-oh. Joe wants one. Joe, seriously, Joe, if you want one of these, because we might offer them for sale, let us know. And we could, because I think we know what we're selling them for. Dennis and I have to confer on that. But if somebody wants a 9-inch like this, they would be, made to order. We're not going to print them up ahead of time. But the guy that's doing it is totally down to do that. So,
Yep.
yeah. So there you go, guys. That is the show. Tomorrow night, like we said, 4:00. Mission Impossible. Dennis? Check real quick. What's the runtime on this last Mission Impossible? It's got to be over 2 hours.
I will look.
I'd say 2.5.
It's got to be big.
Got to be. Rich, you should get a ticket and come.
I'm poor.
Oh, well, I will tell you this. I will be getting up in the middle of it to go to the bathroom.
Oh, my
because
God.
I am getting my extra large Pip Zero, and I guarantee at least once I will be going to the
How
bathroom.
long?
for this 2 hour and 49-minute movie.
Oh, I might even have to get up and go to the bathroom.
That movie's going to have 10 minutes of credits at the end. So
Dude, you know what you need to do? And I'm not kidding. There used to be an app, but see you later, Queen Mickey. There used to be an app. I don't know if there is, but you could Google something like best time to go to the bathroom during a movie, and you'll probably find a site that tells you for lots of movies, and you might be able to find a good time frame of when. I know he drinks freaking Pib Zero.
Pib Zero, you bet.
I can't believe they make that.
He throws $8 right. You know, Dennis, if you're gonna throw $8 away, just throw it in my pocket.
Dude, it is the only place in town I can get it. That's the only place that has basically Pib. And so I'm like, my one guilty pleasure, AMC theaters have it. So as long as they have Pib, I will drink it. That is it. If they get rid of Pib Zero, I won't even bother getting a soda anymore.
All right. Now I am going to do that real fast. I'm just curious if I can find that site.
What's Pib Zero? It is Mr. Pibb, but without any of the sugar.
No sugar.
Yep. And I love Mr. Pibb way better than I like Dr. Pepper. I like Dr. Pepper too, but I'll take Mr. Pibb any day.
Okay, so there's a website called.
It's not Timo.
That's spot on. That's
Timo.com.
on the internet right there.
There's a website. There's a website called runp.com. So this one's called what? I already forgot. Mission Impossible what?
Last Reckoning.
Let's see if it
hasn't come out yet, so people might not know when his bedtime is.
Yeah, but the sites like this usually, but you're right, it only has Dead Reckoning up. But there is an app you can download.
So, there's an app for everything.
Yep. So if you want to know the best time to hit the old bathroom.
So yes, Paul, like Coke Zero. But anyway, guys, hey, it's Graybeard's time. I'm assuming they're on Graybeard's, and that's why Queen Mickey was here. So guys, when we sign off here, you go to the bathroom right now. You don't need an app for it, and then go over to Graybeard's.
That's right. Go check out Graybeard's. Go sign up for Lilith Infernal Conflict. The link is in the description below. Launching in June, the latest book from Astonishing Comics and your guys, Dennis and Andy. It's going to kick ass. Lilith in her own book. Dun, dun, dun. And we're not playing any outro stream. I'm just going to end the stream. I'm clicking the button now, which means there's probably going to be 10 seconds. So